What's up, guys? I'm Chana, and we're back on UNHINGEDASF, where we loosen the screws and let it all hang loose. Today, we have a super special guest, our producer. What's up, Ever? How are you?
I pressed the wrong button. I'm doing good.
As you can tell, he's still behind the board, managing everything, so bear with us. This is Ever's first podcast, right?
Yeah, basically. I've like talked in front of it, but it's not like a actual episode. It'll be like, hey, we got a couple minutes left over. Let's fuck around and find out.
Yeah. That's interesting. Well, I feel special. We get the Ever exclusive here right on UNHINGEDASF. So tell us about you. How did you get in the producer game?
So I was like in high school. I was really dumb, you know. I wasn't thinking ahead. I didn't know what good grades were.
Yeah, it happens.
Like I had, And then after high school, I went to like ACC, and I got a job at like the Amazon warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go to school, and then I would work on from like Friday to Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and it sucked. And like I would go like brain numb in there, and then one day I stopped at like HEB and Beta, and I saw this guy that I knew, like I went to high school with.
Uh-huh.
We were both like working out together in high school, and he was like, "Hey, good to see you again, man."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Good to see you too." And I was like, "Man, you look like you've been working out." And he's like, "Yeah, working out like all the time." He's like, "I'm getting ready for like this like film I'm about to shoot." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Like, sounds cool."
Okay.
And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, man, I'm gonna go inside and get some groceries." He's like, "Okay." So I was like 19.
When that happened, when you ran into him at HEB?
Yeah, I was like 19, 20. And then I walked back outside, like after I get my groceries. Like I took my sweet ass time in HEB, and he didn't move. He didn't move at all.
What do you mean?
So like he was just. I was like, "Did you move?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "I wanted to ask you a question." He was like, "Do you want to like be a part of my film? Like, do you want to help me like make this film?" And I was like, "What is it?" He was like, It's like a Deadpool fan film. Like we're gonna be like characters, and I'm gonna write the script, and we're gonna shoot it, and we're gonna edit it, and then we're gonna put it out."
Like a cosplay kind of thing, or like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm down. Like I got nothing better in my life. Like let's do it."
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Okay." So like we exchanged numbers, and then he texts me. He's like, "Yo, you got to audition for the part."
You got to audition after he invited you to be on it?
Yeah.
What was the part?
So I would have been like the sidekick.
Deadpool. Wait, did you say Deadpool?
Deadpool, yeah.
Deadpool doesn't have a sidekick though.
Well, like
his taxi driver.
He's a. This guy was like he is like a comic book nerd.
Okay.
So in the comic books, he has a sidekick.
Oh, well, I wouldn't know. I didn't fuck. I should have. Never mind. They're going to come for me and be like, how you a Marvel fan and don't even fucking read the comics?
I never read them.
Me neither.
I didn't know. But I'm like, okay, I'll audition. So we went to his garage like a couple days later. And I like auditioned, whatever. And he was like, "Yeah, you got the part. Congratulations." I was like, "Thanks."
What the fuck? What did the audition consist of?
It was just like nothing really. Just like reading.
It's just like show up and you got it.
Yeah, I showed up and we were like reading the paper between each other, the script, and he's like, "I just wanted to see like if you come."
That's me. Like,
yeah.
You got to audition just to see if you really about it.
Yeah, yeah. I just showed up and he's like, "That's good enough."
Yeah.
So I got the part, and I remember the first thing is like we worked on costumes.
Mm-hmm.
So he had like a really like a $200 Deadpool mask. It was cool to see like when he would put it on, that he would like lose himself.
He'd go into character.
For real.
He's like, "I'm Deadpool. Time to make chimichangas."
So,
or
all that. Yeah, and he would like become that. Fun to be around. And we were doing that, and I was like the sidekick. My outfit was like a green spandex suit with like yellow boots and a yellow belt, and then I had like goggles, but I couldn't see out of my goggles.
I'm dead.
My outfit sucked.
Were they like blacked out or something, or like?
We wanted the lenses white, so we spray painted them white.
I'm dead. You couldn't see a fucking thing.
I couldn't. Like,
what's Deadpool's sidekick name?
His name is like HYDRA Bob. He's in the movie. Yeah. So I was like, that was my character. That's my outfit.
Couldn't see anything. Just running around, trusting your friend in a Deadpool mask.
Just running around, and at the time I was using like my '91 Camaro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was fun. So we would drive that. That was the car for the movie, and he had saved up like $1,000 like for it. So we were spending like his money for the costumes and the props and stuff like that. And I had like my sister had got a camera for her birthday. It was like a little shitty $300 pawn shop one. We used that to like film everything, and we started shooting like scene by scene. We would like learn and learn and learn and learn. And then it took like maybe 6 or 7 months to film the entire movie.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because we would do it like after work.
How long is like? Did y'all finish it?
Yeah, so like after the 6 or 7 months of filming, we took like another month to put it out, and then we missed the deadline by a day to put it out. We set it ourselves.
Okay.
It was like 17 minutes long, and it took forever because my computer was like
17 minutes long for the film?
Yeah.
Total.
And
it took 7 months.
Yeah. Almost a year, basically.
Damn.
And it was 17 minutes long, and we watched it, and we were like,
trash. I've had that, like, where I think I'm gonna make this really good video or reel or short or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be a good one. Then I make it and I watch it, and I'm like, yo, this is so fucking bad. Like, why did I waste my time on this? But goddamn, did y'all ever post it or anything? Y'all just kept it to yourself?
Yeah, so like, okay, during the time we were making the movie, I was working at Amazon. I like after he got off work, after I got off work, we were like 19, 20, like we had nothing going on in our lives. So we would go to his parents' house and just work on this thing till like 2 a.m. And I was like, he was like, bro, you're coming back like brain dead after work. So he was like, come work at HEB with me. So I got a job at like the beat at HEB, and we had like a work group chat. And when the movie came out, we put it on the work group chat. We're like, y'all go watch it. And then nobody watched it.
Oh. Wait, but so y'all did post it?
Yeah, we did post it, and then he took it down because he didn't like it.
He should have just kept it up.
You know, c'est la vie.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But
I'm over here like, I wanted him to keep it up so I could just watch it right now. We got 17 minutes.
It hurts. It hurts me to watch it. But I did make a small clip, like a 2-3 minute version of like just like the best scenes that I showed like girls sometimes. I'm like, look, I was in a movie.
I'm dead.
I don't think it's a good idea to keep showing them that because nobody's ever been like, oh, that was great, thanks for showing me.
They're like, oh, thanks for the watch.
Yeah, they're like blocked. It was just
immediately blocked. He made a homemade video, a movie with his friends in a garage. And they're all in fucking weird costumes.
And like that's what Nirvana did. Like.
That's true.
Yeah. So that movie came out. I was working at HEB, and then I got into websites like coding them. I was trying to talk to this one girl at work. This is like 2019, right? And I had dropped out of college because I was like, Mom, Dad, I can't do it.
This ain't for me.
Yeah.
This ain't for me.
And then like the fast one was like, hey, bro, you out of money? And I was like, I guess I'm out of college then too.
Not for real.
So I was trying to talk to this girl, and then I became like a huge alcoholic. Well, we both did. Even she went to her doctor, and she came back to me, and she was like, we got to chill. Like my doctor said, like, we're going to get hurt. And then she just went to college, like it just went away, like nothing happened.
The fuck? She said, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna drink with you anymore ever.
I was like, no. And then so I was just there at HEB. I was like, oh damn. I was like, I spent my income tax, all my money, all my time. I was like, I've done nothing for like a year.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, ugh. And then the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
And I was on Facebook at home because I was bored.
Yeah.
And I was tired of my family and like tired of just working, and I had nothing left, and I was like still drinking a bunch of alcohol at the time. And I saw a really bad video on Facebook, and I was doing a website for a small business in Buda.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, can you put me in contact with this nonprofit? It was like the Buda Area Chamber of Commerce. And they're like, yeah. So I hit them up and I said, hey, can I do your videos for you? Like, I'll do it for free. And they're like, yeah, that sounds good. So I went, and the very first day they were like, yo, let's do a video like this. Like, let's do a promotional video. And I had that little camera that we made the movie with.
Yeah.
And
What kind of camera was it?
it was a Nikon DSLR 3300.
Okay.
Yeah. We got it from like the pawn shop for like $300. So I started doing like, he would take me out to like small businesses in Buda, and we would film like commercials like with them, and I would meet the business owners, and then they would give us like a snack or something, and I would like go back and edit it. And so like I learned how to like edit fast. I learned how to like talk to people, and
Yeah. Network.
yeah. So it was like a really great experience. It wasn't, that was a great experience, but like working there wasn't a great experience.
Yeah. I mean, you came to them with an offer for free.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was experience nonetheless, but you live and you learn.
You live and you learn. Exactly.
And you always need to start somewhere.
Yeah. And that's the hard part too, is like I respect people who want to like do this, like do videos like I do.
Mm-hmm.
But not so much when they just want to jump to the top. I'm like,
There's no such thing. Like, you can't, like, even me, I'm trying to skip steps and I'm like, quickly humbled, because you can't. You just can't skip the steps. You have to go through all of them.
mm-hmm.
And it's like the people who are able to skip steps, it's because they have like a higher advantage, but then they end up falling just as fast.
Yeah. So like I learned through there, and then from there I went to like the city of Buda.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout that, I had worked with like everybody in Buda. I learned how to like, and then I started working with the church too. Like, I'm still with this church.
Mm-hmm.
But I learned how to live stream. I learned how to make podcasts. And then like I learned how to talk to people. I learned how to like freelance. And it was like real like baby things. Like, I'll do a video for $100.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it was just like just learning everything. I was talking to the communications director with the city of Buda at the time. I was trying to set myself up to be like the number 2 communications person for the city of Buda.
Okay.
Yeah, like I was like, government money, let's go, baby. I was like, Mom and Dad, I'm fucking out of here.
Said, I'm sick of y'all shit.
Exactly.
Get out of here.
Exactly. And then the guy quit.
Oh. Damn.
And so I was like, no. And so I lost everything. I lost my connection that I had made. And I had all this equipment. Like I fucked around, and like I invested all of my money into it. Like how you were talking, you bought your camera and like everything that it took to do a podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I probably have $5,000 worth of equipment at home, just from like trying to like figure out what's gonna work for me. Like, I bought the Canon Rebel thinking it was gonna work for videos, and it does not. And I didn't know that it shuts off after so long. And so I figured that out and just bought another one. I bought a vlogging camera this time. So yeah, it's like you end up investing all this because you're still like trying to perfect your craft and going through it, but you don't know until you know.
Yeah. And that's what I did. And so I had too much invest. Well, when I was starting off with the Buda Chamber of Commerce, I was like, okay, I need more gear and nobody's going to buy it for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, let's jump in and see what happens.
What do you mean? What was your way of jumping in?
So like I had the camera and I was like, this is great. And then I had like my shitty little computer, my laptop. But I was like, I need to record better audio. and that was like $300, like $400.
Just for mics?
No, for the field recorder, like you plug the mics into that.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's like a Zoom, and I was like, damn. And then they're like, oh, you need microphones too, and I was like, damn.
Yeah.
They're like, and you need cables too, and I was like, damn.
Yeah, like you could think of all the big equipment, but then it comes to like the cables and like the specific inputs and outputs that you need, and like, or the hard drives or the memory cards or like all that shit too. Like that's always the stuff I forget about.
Exactly. And I've done that at gigs too, and it's not fun.
Or like, how am I gonna carry this shit around? Like now I need this fucking bag, or like, you know, how the fuck am I gonna keep it safe and not damage it going from point A to point B?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then so like I jumped in, and then after the city beta, I had like all this stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna keep going. The same way I saw like that ugly video on Facebook, I saw an ugly video on Twitter.
Okay.
Like,
but it also works for you, right? Like it triggers something in you.
Yeah, I'm like, that's fucking disgusting. I can do a better job.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah. So I saw this podcast, and I was like, after everything that I learned, I was like, I can do better. I was like, let me hit them up.
Yeah.
And I was like, once again, I'll do it for free. And they were like, oh, because they were also like, hey, we don't have money, but you're more than welcome to do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, sweet, let's go. Because at first, I tried coming to Austin in like 2019, but I didn't know anybody. And the people that I did meet weren't that good of a people.
That happens.
Yeah. So I didn't make it. But the pandemic happened, and then it was in like 2021 when I reached out to the podcast, IDK That's Perfect. And that very first night, I met Mario, which is the guy who, like, the
Mario
main host.
from the South Side? Is that what he says?
Yeah.
Mario from the South Side?
Classic legend. So I met Mario, I met Neighborhood Nick, and then their guests were Jay Soulja and DJ Napalm.
Okay.
Yeah, and so, like, it's crazy because those, like, 4 people, like, to this day, I still work with those people.
Yeah, they're still out here doing it.
Yeah.
They're still out here killing it.
Yeah.
I think like when I got here, I opened my phone and I seen him on Instagram.
Exactly. And it's crazy that, like, so, like, the very first time I was, like, I told Mario, like, I'm going to drive. I was working in Buda, and the podcast was being recorded in bee caves.
Oh, damn.
And I was like, I'm going to drive up, and I'm going to, like, meet you guys. Like, let's just talk.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. And I get there, and I told him I'd be there at 9, and 9:30 rolls around. 9:45 rolls around. I'm like, yo, they're not. And the building was locked. It was in like a WeWorks kind of thing.
Wait, so you were supposed to meet it, like, where were you meeting with them?
So they were recording the podcast in like a WeWorks kind of space. It has like a podcast studio.
WeWorks.
You ever heard of WeWorks?
I think I have actually. I think I seen an ad for them on Instagram.
Yeah, so it's like a big office building where you pay like monthly, and you get to use like the entire space. Like you can like rent a desk, or you can sit at a desk, you can sit in a room, whatever, or like stuff like that. It's like rent office space.
Okay.
And they were doing that for the podcast space. And so they took forever. Like, I was like, man, fuck this, I'm gonna leave. Because I was texting them and nothing would come through. And finally, I see them walk out, and I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, oh, my bad, bro. Like, we're finishing the episode. We have it. They had their phones on like airplane mode, so they wouldn't get like interference. And I met them, and I was like, yo, like, it's cool. Like, I want to do this. They're like, all right, babe, come back next week, and we'll let you record. And then just kept going from there. So that was IDK That's Perfect. And then through them, I met all their guests. I started working with all their guests, going to the venues that they worked at, picking up jobs there at those venues, meeting more people. Somebody saw my video on Twitter. Like, I posted it behind the scenes.
Of the podcast?
Yeah. Like this, like, I was like, if I was like right here and I posted like a sweep of this. Yeah. Like, oh, check it out, I'm doing this. I posted one of those on Twitter, and IDK retweeted it. And somebody DM'd me. They were like, hey, you know, I see that you've been doing this thing. Like, would you be interested in making a studio? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, okay, well, let's talk. And it was Chaka.
Okay, Chaka.
Yeah. So
And that's how you got in with Dawa?
yeah, that's he found me on Twitter because
That's fucking dope.
yeah.
I found you on Twitter. Just out of curiosity, did you get IDK That's Perfect retweeted it, but did you get like any other engagement off of that besides Chaka's DM? Like, do you remember?
No, because back then I was like a nobody. Like,
yeah, that's why I'm wondering, like, how did he see it? Like, you know, usually the algorithm will push it if it's like been highly engaged with or something. So he like just saw it out of luck.
Okay, so this was like late 2021 when Chaka was gonna be on the podcast, and I fucked up. So Chaka was gonna be on the podcast like late 2021, and he messaged me like about this like studio idea that he has, and the thing was, like you were saying, like I didn't have any traction and stuff like that. Chaka had been doing live streams during the pandemic, and they had the same setup that he saw in my video, and he was like, that's what I wanted, because like he had an idea. He's like, why don't we have a space like that for like people of color in Austin to use?
Yeah.
And then he was gonna be on IDK's podcast, and he wanted to see like what they've been up to, so he was like looking through their stuff, and he saw the video through that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how that happened, and then that's how I met Chaka. So that was like October 2021, and he was like, you have 2 weeks to design the studio. Like, I need it by then. And so like, little ever was like, at home, like, stressing on like an Excel sheet, like,
literally.
Like I have like papers all around me. Like I'm like drawing out the studio. I'm like, okay, this is plugging into this. This is this cable. This is this cable. Like, okay, do I have enough? Like, let me get extra ones of these. Like, let me make sure like all this works. And then, okay. And then he was like, give me different tiers. So like, in case the pricing doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So then like I made like 4 versions of the studio, and then I'm like planning them all out. I'm like, okay, do. I gotta make sure everything works together. Like, I didn't know if these lenses would work on these cameras.
Okay.
Yeah. So some of these were like shots in the dark.
So a lot of like, you planned like all of this?
Yeah. I designed it all, like everything from the cables, the headphones, the lights, the power cables, the lenses, everything.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, Ever. I've been here for how long now and I didn't even know all this?
Yeah, so...
I'm telling you that. Ever exclusive on UNHINGEDASF.
UNHINGEDASF. So yeah, I designed the studio, and then like, you know, then Dawa Studios came around eventually. And then like throughout the time I was at the podcast, I started working at a venue on the east side called The Pershing. They had the same camera setup as I did. And they were like, hey, come back in a couple months. Like, we're going to get a better one. And then so I learned their camera system, like their $200,000 camera system. Like,
Jesus.
Crazy. And like, they needed like help to run it, and then like to like program the stuff. There was like nobody there except me. And they're like, Ever, we're just going to pay you to be here to figure this shit out. Just spend your fucking time here and just learn this shit.
Wow.
Yeah. And, so I learned it, and like I got proficient at it, and like I understood like how like those systems work.
Yeah.
And then there's Dawa Studios. I've been taking that out, and then just recently, I think like last week, I got Antone's camera system now as well.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Look at you.
Antone's under my belt.
Yeah, Antone's is dope. I like that.
And
we were there.
That's pretty much the journey so far. I mean, there's like people that I freelance with, and like all the connections I made and stuff like that. But that's how I got to here.
Okay, that's so interesting. Like the fact that you literally just like any other person. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I don't know what I'm doing or what I want to do, and then you just like figured it out a lot earlier than other people too. At that, because how old are you? You're like what, 25?
Yeah, 25. I'll be 26 this year.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, you're still in your 20s. Barely in your late 20s. I feel like this is just the beginning for you still, you know?
Yeah.
I don't see you stopping anytime soon. And like with technology, there's always something to learn or something cool, like something new and fancy or fun to do.
Yeah, and like that's the crazy part. People tell me that too. Like I'm gonna go far and fast, and I'm like, holy shit! Like this is cool right now where I'm at. And then like the technology, like in the Anton system, there's like a robot slider, and to get it to work, I think I need like a PS4 or PS5 controller.
For real?
Yeah, and so I want to go up to him and just like I want to get like the pro version of the controllers, like $200, and be like, can we justify getting this?
Yeah, for real. Just to have fun with it. Fuck it. Why not?
Yeah. So like, give me this $200 PS5 controller. I promise, bro. You need it.
It's gonna work. Trust me.
Trust me. Yeah. So the technology and like the opportunities are there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Love to hear it. That's so dope. So, what do your freelancing gigs look like mostly?
That's the hard work. When I first, okay, so Chaka DM'd me on Twitter like in October 2021, and I had started working on like my video production since like June 2020, all the way till October 2021. So like I have cameras, I have cables, I have
Not
microphones.
me with the fucking phone now. What the fuck? Hey, that's my parking though.
Hey.
Shit. Can we pause it?
Yeah.
I do need to go move my.
I was talking about something like. Oh, I quit my job like November 18th, 2021. And what was this? Oh, my freelancing. Yeah. They're
Oh yeah. How do you get the work? Or no, that's not what I asked.
yeah, freelancing. Something like
How does your freelancing gigs go?
Twitter. Twitter is how I started.
Someone's here.
Someone's here? No fucking way.
That's crazy. We're never gonna finish.
That only took 2 minutes. So like freelancing, I just I reach out on Twitter, and just DM people like, yo, I could do this or whatnot, and then
So they would reach out to you. You didn't have to like do any like cold calls or anything, I guess. Is that what it would be called?
like one example was like this guy, he was looking for like somebody to make social media videos of him, and I was like, I can do it, and he was like, okay, and then that was it. And then I started doing like videos for him, and then like the job was getting like so big, I was like, I brought my sister on, she was doing like pictures for him as well, and so like we were both making money. It was good. And
Nice.
or like I'll work with somebody and then I'll meet somebody through them and then I'll pick up work like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's all through your connections.
Yeah. It was just like slowly built like over time.
Yeah. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know.
Exactly.
That's how it is for real.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna ask you in another lifetime, like you were saying, if you weren't podcasting, what would you be doing?
If I wasn't podcasting right now, like I guess, I don't know. I've always picked up hobbies. Like I've always tried stuff just to see like how I could channel my inner Chana. And I've done a lot of things. Like I was just looking at my memories on Instagram, and like 5 years ago today, I was deadlifting because I used to power lift, so like honestly there's no telling what kind of hobby I would have picked up had it not been podcasting or like content creating or anything like that. I don't know. I feel like the reason I do like content creation and podcasting is because like I want to stay home more because like I want to be with my family. There's no fucking telling. It'd probably be like weightlifting again though, like because I used to be like a personal trainer. Like I used to be like in it, like all the way in, like competing, doing shit like that. Like, but then I moved here and it like changed, and then the pandemic happened, and yeah, I don't know. Probably something creative though, for sure. Where you gotta throw your whole ass into it.
I wanted to come to Austin be a part of like the musicians and stuff like that, because like, bro, they live like cool lives, like rock star lives and shit like that. But I was like, I don't think I can make music though, so I gotta find something that will put me next to them.
Yeah, but you want to be on the same team.
I want to be around them, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I need to be any closer
to them.
Yeah, because the music business is super
toxic.
Maybe, and it just seems like difficult and like confusing and.
Yeah, because nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. They're just trying to figure out some formula that works for them.
Yeah, and then like the business side too, I'm like, ugh, that's messy.
Yeah, I mean the music industry is not like doesn't have a good rep, you know, like big or small. Like you can really get fucked over, or you can fuck people over. You can get consumed in the life and get too lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce. When I first started doing this, I had no like social life. I would just go to work. I would come and do this. Man, I'd drink like, at the venues you get like free drinks if you're working. So I'm gonna say minimum like 3 drinks a night, and then for dinner, Whataburger.
Just fucking you can get consumed into that life, and it's like super unhealthy.
I gained 40 pounds.
Jesus, how long were you doing it like that?
Since I joined that podcast, 2021, all the way till the start of 2023.
Damn, yeah, that's one way to put on some weight.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, and it's just like to me, like now that I'm thinking about it, I probably would bartend, like if I wasn't like podcasting or something, like because that was originally what I came to Austin to do. Like when I came here, I was like, yeah, I want to get into the nightlife. Like that's what I want to do. I think I'd be a badass bartender. Like I'd do fucking tricks and shit. And then the pandemic happened and shut all those jobs down. So I was like, well, there has to be something else. You know, I need something that's like is the sustainable hobby, I guess, that I have more control of. And a podcast is something I have more control of.
Yeah.
Because, like, even if I wasn't here, I could do it at home, even though it would be tedious as hell. And I'm so thankful I don't have to do that shit when I come here. Even the bartending part, like, when I was just working at a restaurant earlier this year, like, I got caught up in the nightlife, you know, and I was like, yeah, I gotta.
Is it because of, the quick money?
Well, it's more like it's fun, you know, and it's real fun. And, like, now that I'm a mom, I can't do that shit. But had it been 2 years ago, oh, yeah, I would have got lost in the fucking sauce.
Yeah.
Because it's fun. You're meeting people all the time. You're just fucking having fun. You know, like, it doesn't feel like work at that point because it's so much fun. And it was something that was, like, interesting for me, like, the knowledge that came with it. Like, I like to be challenged. I like to learn stuff new, like, all the time. So, and I get that out of podcasting, too. I'm constantly learning something. So, like, hobbies have to consist of that for me. Some, what is it, mental stimulation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need that shit. I can't just sit around. For sure have a hobby though.
When I was working at HEB before I quit, I was working in like the Showtime where they make the samples, and at the smaller store it was a fucking TV show. I joined and like there was a team of like all girls, and bro, we're just having a blast, and like our manager was like this older lady who didn't give a fuck. She was like, stay under budget and then do whatever you want. She was like, don't bring any attention to us and do whatever you want.
So it was like a commercial or something? Like
no, like we worked at like a little HEB, and we were like people making the samples. That was us. But it was just so fun.
Oh, making samples. Okay.
Yeah.
If you say samples, I'm over here like sample like music.
Yeah, no. So we're like heating up like sausages, like quesadillas with chips or coffee.
Yeah, I mean it's easy to like have fun with people, you know what I'm saying? Like you get comfortable in those type of things.
Exactly. And like it got to a point where like other guys joined, and we were just like being rowdy, and we were putting like ghost peppers in food and fucking the customers up.
Fucking evil ass motherfuckers.
Exactly. And like I think about it now, I'm like, you know, if the pandemic didn't happen, I don't think I would have ever left HEB.
I feel like a lot of people feel that way. Not exactly about HEB, but like about their position. Like a lot of people wouldn't have moved in certain ways. Had it not been for the pandemic, we were forced to move a certain way, you know? So, like, I don't know. Not seeing all the people that died was worth it, but I'm just saying the rest of us that are still here, we learned something from it. I hope, at least.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, like, it really did change, like, everyone's life. Like, whatever you expected didn't happen.
Yeah. I'm fucking glad for it. Look at me now.
On the come up, baby. We got the ever exclusive on UnhingedASF.
My goodness. I'm like, today is July 16th, 2023. Let's see. This is ever looking to the cat, right? Is it the 16th?
Bitch, it's the 18th. Start over.
It's the 17th.
No, it's not. Oh, it is. That was Tuesday. Today's Monday.
We're both wrong.
We're both fucked up.
God,
this whole episode has been chaotic.
That's how my life is.
I'm not even gonna edit it. We're just gonna go with it.
Beautiful. It's gonna be great.
You're just posting it, raw dogging it.
Okay. So today is July 17th, 2023. It's 6:16. The night or yesterday, I edited like a podcast, Talk with Texas, all day, and I stayed up till like 5 a.m. editing, and then I went back to sleep from like 5 to 9, and I woke up, kept editing, and finished it by like 11. So that's what you were doing at this time. Like, that's when, just whenever you see this, it's like look back and be like, what the fuck was he doing? And then you're going to see this and you're going to be like, God damn, I remember that.
It's a message for future ever. Just a humble reminder.
Yeah, I should have been like vlogging my entire experience like when I started doing this.
Yeah. Because
I feel like sometimes I want to go back and like see what I was thinking and like see what I was doing.
Like what headspace you were in.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it just, I think it would have been really cool. But I could even start right now. Like I want to do it in Dollar Studios, but I just don't. I don't know.
You should. You're here all the time, no?
Not as much as I was before.
Well, you're still here enough?
Yeah.
Enough to fuck around and find out?
Fuck around and find out. Or catalog my life. And the question is like, okay, let's say I do that, right? And I leave no details out. How long do you think I need to wait before I put that out?
Have you signed any NDAs?
No.
Then you ain't gotta fucking wait.
Okay. But like, let's say I got like a really good story and there's like people's names and like businesses involved and stuff like that. Like, I don't want to fuck up what I got going on. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But like, maybe when I'm like, in like 30 years, 40 years, 50 years.
Shit, I was gonna say 10. About 10 years, everyone's moved on.
10 years?
I feel like 10 years is a good amount. Especially if you don't have any NDAs signed right now.
Yeah, no.
See me? Hell no. You gonna sign something.
Shit.
You wanna know my business?
You wanna know my business?
I don't want no one snitching when I come up.
Or put it on a Patreon for like $100 a month. Be like, this is what ever's been doing.
There you go. What's Ever Up To? Isn't that your series on Instagram?
My sister made that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so she was like, let's do this, and then yeah, people like it.
I like it. I like seeing it. I'm like, oh, what is he doing?
Yeah, like it's pretty good. Hanging out with Black Odyssey yesterday. We were broing out. And then I watched like movies with like sneakerheads and like rappers now, and go to like music video launches.
You're so fucking cool. Just casually, you're just like, whatever. I just do this and hang out with cool people and see cool things, and I'm cool.
Yo, like, is it what I've always wanted?
Is this my dream come true?
You can't see it, but my what is it? When you kiss somebody, like your like foot comes up.
Oh, you got the little foot pop.
Yeah, the foot pop.
When the girl gets kissed in the early 2000s movie and she just poop.
Yeah.
Kicks back the leg.
Sprung. Yeah. That's it. Or like it would be difficult like when I would go back to see some of my old friends at like HEB, my coworkers. I'd be like, yo, what's up? Like, what are y'all losers doing here on a Tuesday? They're like, working, bro.
And they're like in the HEB shirt and everything.
Sweaty as hell.
They're like, I just got here 2 hours ago. Fuck.
Yeah. They're like, what are you doing ever? I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna get some groceries and then go home, beat my meat, then record a podcast, drink some alcohol, go see a band, and then go home. Mm-hmm. And they're just like, so it became I couldn't relate to my HB coworkers anymore.
Well, yeah, because they stayed there and you moved on.
Yeah, I did try to bring some people on, but some of them weren't ready.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've had that same kind of issue. Like I've tried to bring friends on and like get them the same kind of exposure, like offer like do content days or shit like that, and then just not everyone's heart is in the same place, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like at that point, like to me, I don't see the point in being their friend anymore just because you're not driven, you know? Mm-hmm. Like if you're not driven with some kind of goal or anything, like if you're completely okay with being average, no offense, that's just not something I want around me. I need constant, you know, people trying to push me or me trying to push them. Like let's break a new goal. Like let's get there. Let's create something. You know, I don't want to just sit around and all I do in my free time is watch a movie. And
bro, dead ass. That's I be talking to girls sometimes and I'm like, so like what do you do outside of like your work? And she's like, they'll be like, nothing, go home, like take care of my cat, like watch a movie. I'm like, okay, like are you like, do you have any hobbies or like anything? You're like, no, not really, I just work. I'm like, these bitches are boring.
Boring as fuck. I hate that shit. I'm always like, you're literally just like okay with that. Like how is it? To me, the biggest thing is I cannot live with myself if I just make another white man rich. I can't. Because why the fuck am I going to keep working and busting my ass for something that's not going to make me any richer? If anything, I'll make maybe a couple $1,000s extra a year. Mm-hmm. But that's it. Like, and then with the inflation, like that ain't going to do a fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather be broke and fucking struggling and having fun. Because at least when I die, I'm going to be fucking, she had fun. Look at all the fun she had. Here's the proof. And it's like, you were just another worker, just happened to die. Now you're replaced in 2 days.
For real.
It's like, where's the legacy? Where's the legacy you're leaving?
Ooh.
You know? And then that's another, like, even me becoming a mom, a new mom, I'm like, hell no. Like, when I do die, like, I want my daughter to be able to brag about me. Or even when I'm alive, like, oh, look at my mom. She's so fucking cool. She does whatever she puts her mind to.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, that is me more than, like, I guess I think. Like, it just subconsciously, like, oh, I can't let my daughter down. You know? Mm-hmm. And so, like, it'll, like, how you said you can't relate to people, like, at HB or anymore, or whatever, your old friends. It's like, I can't relate to parents that, like, don't see it that way. You know?
Yeah.
To like set their kids up. Because even let's say my daughter doesn't get into any of this, you know, she's not interested, she's super shy, social anxiety, whatever, you know, just doesn't think this shit's cool. She could at least have something to be like, look, my mom put her whole fucking pussy in this shit and she did it. So I can do that with whatever it is that I want to.
Yeah.
You know?
I think about like, so like nobody taught me any of this and I just jumped out and did it myself.
Literally.
And, just like I became my own grandmaster. But I think about like, if I had kids and then like people saw them like, yo, your Ever's like son or daughter, like whatever. Mm-hmm. Like how are they going to feel like, yo, my dad did all this shit and like, that's my dad. Like, what am I going to do? Like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't know what to expect from them. I'd be like, yo, bro, just do whatever. That's what I did. Like,
Do whatever.
yeah.
What whatever do?
So I don't know, like what I would want them to do. They'd be like, yo, just one time I had a dream that I got walked into a house and I was like an old man, and this like family, this like big family came out, and they were like all talking and laughing, and they had groceries, and they're like, hey, Ever, you're here. And I was like, yeah, like, you know me? They're like, we got coffees, like we went to try like this new coffee shop, and you know everybody got something different so we could try it all, and we got you one right here and like here, and they gave me a coffee and I tried it, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, damn. And there was this little boy. He was like, this little girl gave me the coffee, and then this little boy was like editing videos. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, you can edit videos? And like, they were like talking, and I heard like the way they like thought, and I was like, they all sound like me. Like, is this like my family? Like, that I made? Like, that was crazy.
The descendants of Ever.
Yeah, it was like in a dream.
And then what was it, your son, I guess?
I don't know. I think I was like an old man in the dream. So I think there were like...
Maybe like a grandson or something?
Yeah, something like that. But
that's
tears in my eyes.
That's fucking wholesome.
So good.
That's so cute. I mean, I feel like, you know, the message, like you, going back to you talking about you don't know what you want your kids to think or like do or whatever. I mean, I guess the message really that I see is like, well, he didn't know what he was getting himself into, but he fucking did it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he did it, and he made something out of it. Like, whether it be, you know, video editing, maybe podcasting, whatever it is, like, they would just be like, yeah, my dad did the damn thing. Like, I can too. You know?
Whew.
I mean, that's how I see it.
That shit makes me nervous. I'm like, yo, they're going to do it too? I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, they got some cojones.
What makes you nervous about it? Like, for them doing it?
Because, like, I know what it takes now. And, like, just the blind faith you have to walk in with. Like, just, like, fuck it. Like, you know, or, like, for me nowadays, I'm like, okay, like, I paid my rent. Like, I paid all my bills on the first. Like, I got 30 days to make some money. And, like, I'm just like one day will go by and I don't make money or I don't make a move or a play. And I'm like, okay, like, let's just keep thinking, just keep talking. Like, something's going to work out. And then it does, but it's like living like that. God damn.
Yeah. It's, what is it called? Besides unpredictable. Not unstable. That's not the word I'm looking for.
I don't really know. What do you mean?
Like, you never know.
Uncertain?
Yeah, maybe uncertain is the word. Like, the uncertainty of, like, not knowing if you actually are going to make money.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And it does take balls to, like, live like that and, like, not have the security that comes with just, like, a 9-to-5 or, like, working at HEB.
Yeah.
You know? Because you know you're going to get a check.
Yeah.
You know you're going to get a check. Like, you know you're going to go put in some hours and then you're going to get a check however long. But, like, when it comes to freelancing, like, you don't know. You know? You have to fucking fuck around and find out.
Yeah. And then, yeah, if my kid said that, I'd be like, let's get it. Like,
I mean, they would have you.
Yeah.
They would have you. Like, maybe if it wasn't even, like, this kind of type of freelancing, like when it comes to freelancing in general, you know, like they would have the upper hand already because a parent already walked through that path.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, that's cute though. I'm still thinking about your dream.
That dream was it's one of my favorites. I never forgot it. That was a couple of years ago, and then maybe like earlier this month, or like last month, I started having dreams where like I learned how to fly, and I wake up and I'm just like I feel so happy, like the happiest I've ever been. I just couldn't stop smiling and like laughing. I would look in the mirror and I would laugh, and I was just smiling at your ear, and just the feeling was still in my body. I was like, what the fuck? This feels so good.
Have you looked it up? Like what those You said dreams of you flying?
Yeah. I looked it up, and it was saying something about like that you're like overcoming something, like complete mastery.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Master Ember.
so that's what the website said. But
And I'm gonna believe it.
I guess I'm like okay, this what's next in the video thing.
Yeah, for real. That's. I couldn't even imagine. Like waking up and feeling that happy as soon as you wake up.
Ooh, it was crazy.
I'm over here like, oh, I hate getting out of bed. I hate waking up. I used to like remember my dreams a lot too, but now I just like don't. And it's like every now and then, and every time I do remember a dream, it's a message. Like it's a fucking message. Like it's very prominent, and it always happens.
Do you have you ever thought about like a dream journal?
I used to. So like I had a real hard time when I was younger, trying to remember my dreams, and I was always having nightmares. And every time I'd wake up, I'd be real nauseous. Like I wouldn't be able to do anything because like it would cause me severe anxiety, and it would just make me feel so fucking sick. But I couldn't remember why, you know.
Yeah.
And it was obvious. It was me going to sleep, you know, and waking up or whatever. So then I like did the dream journal for a while, and then I started remembering every fucking dream. Every time I woke up, I could remember what happened, even if it was something stupid or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when I got pregnant, it was even worse. Like the dreams were so fucking vivid. They were terrible. They were not good. They were not fun. But it was always a hidden message.
Yeah.
So then I had my baby, and I stopped dreaming, or I stopped remembering my dreams, like completely. And it probably had to do with like the lack of sleep and me not really getting to like the REM stage. And like just more recently, like I remember them every now and then, but every time I do, it's a message.
I don't have a dream journal, but I started reading, and it was after I started reading is when I started getting the flying dreams.
What'd you start reading?
The autobiography of Malcolm X. I love autobiographies.
Yeah?
And his was just like, I'm like, this is some real shit. And I'm like, this is so good. I love autobiographies. So like, every time I meet somebody, I like to like make a copy of them, like in my brain. And like I'll use that if I'm ever out and about. So like if I deal with, I don't know, people that you know, I might take something from your personality and just like mirror that back so I can make that person like laugh or like feel comfortable. Or I'll use like somebody else's personality to like work my way through something, or like if I have questions I can like kind of ask them back and stuff like that. So autobiographies are like I can like imagine this person, like what would they do, stuff like that.
Okay. So kind of just like putting yourself in that person's shoes.
Yeah.
Okay. I could see that. See, me, I'm like a big documentary person.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, people don't like documentaries for whatever, but like I like to learn stuff. I like to take something from it. I feel like that's the same. Maybe I should look into some autobiographies for sure.
Like the ones that I've read so far, I've read Tina Fey's.
Okay. I didn't even know she had one.
So good. Her whole career is built on like accidental false self-confidence.
Wow. I definitely needed to read it.
So like she was a little girl coming home from like school, and she was like walking in like her alley. She lived in like I don't know, like a neighborhood or whatever, and she was walking like in the alley. I think she's like 40 or 50 now, so like however long ago that was in the 80s.
Yeah.
And some guy like jumped out of nowhere, and he like tried to like cut her, but she fell back or something, so he missed, and he only like cut her cheek, just enough to scar it. And then like she was okay, like nothing happened to her, she felt fine, but everybody was like, oh my god, like you're so brave for doing that, like you survived, and like you're amazing. And then everybody felt bad for her. So she's like a little girl. they felt bad for her, and so they were just like cheering her on and like complimenting her all the time and praising her. And she would do something and they'd be like, "That's so good. Like, you're so amazing. Like, wow, you're the best, Tina."
Not the praise.
And so
To the white woman.
she just thought, I'm this good and people love me, so I'm gonna keep doing this. And that's like what led her to be like all the way to where she is because like that cut on her face.
That's wild.
There's Tina Fey, there's Eddie Huang, Anthony Kiedis from Red Hot Chili Peppers, Malcolm X. I think that's all I remember so far.
That's wild. I mean, I kind of have like a story like that too, and like how I got into podcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like 2020, the beginning of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Was it? Maybe it was 2020. No, it was 2021. It was the beginning of 2021. I just paid off my Jeep. I was going to work, and I fucking totaled it. A semi hit me on the driver's side, and I was fine. Nothing happened to me.
Yeah.
I was a little shaken up, wasted my fucking day waiting on this shit to get taken care of or whatever. I was more just like, damn, this is a big ass inconvenience. My back kind of hurt, but whatever. But after that, I was like, damn, what if I would have died? Like, what if that really would have killed me? Only because my mom's mom was hit by an 18-wheeler and she died. So
what a fucking coincidence.
That's why I was shook. I was like,
you weren't shook about getting hit. You were shook about that it's happened before.
Yes. And I was like, did I just break the generational curse?
Yeah.
Or like, what happened? You know, why? And it literally was only hit on my side. It only hit me on my side. The rest of the Jeep was fine. Just my shit was fucked. Like, it was weird. And I was like, yo, I got to do something. I got so much shit to talk. I got to say something. Like, how do I do this? And then I started thinking like, oh, you know what? How can I get my message out? Then my cousin and my sister were like, oh, we're going to start a podcast. Like, we should all do it. And then, of course, these bitches say they're going to do it and they don't do it, whatever. And then I'm here with the microphone talking about, nah, y'all made me buy this microphone. I'm finna talk my shit.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, you know? And it was just like a moment of like realizing like I could die. I could really die and not say anything about my whole life. And I feel like I have some valuable information and wisdom or whatever. I feel like a lot of people could relate to whatever I'm going through. And I just want to share it and make people feel normal for being fucking human.
That is a crazy ass story to like, that it happened before and then it happened to you and you were like, let me listen.
Yeah, I was like, I'm shook. You know, I cried about it for like a week.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what the hell happened? Like, I'm fine. Why am I fine? Why am I completely okay? And that's how my grandmother died.
Yeah.
It was just one of those moments. You know?
When I had the Camaro, I was on a backcountry road and then there was an accident up ahead. So like the road got stopped. It was like two-way. And it was taking so long that I was like, let me change my phone screen protector. So I'm changing it, and then all of a sudden time slows down, like so slow, and then everything flies forward like. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And then I feel, I'm like, oh shit, and I get like hit into the seat. I'm like, ah, and everything starts flying back. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then, like, time catches up, and I'm like, and I'm, like, bouncing. I'm like, what's happening? And with the Jeep, and everything's thrown everywhere. I'm in the Camaro, and everything's thrown everywhere. I'm like, what? And I like, look around. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm just parked here on this road. There's, like, bumper-to-bumper traffic. And I look up, and there's no traffic ahead of me. I'm like, oh, the cars are gone. And, like, behind me, and an 18-wheeler had pushed me.
Like forward?
Yeah. So like that's like when everything slowed down is like the initial impact. I was like, oh, I was like blown like back into my seat and everything had popped up. And when everything started getting bumpy again, it was because like my car was parked, and they were just pushing my Camaro forward. I guess they couldn't see it because it's so low and
So
like
you were
little.
just sitting. You weren't driving. You were just sitting there.
I was sitting there. The car was idle.
What the fuck?
And the whole fucking Camaro just got pushed forward. I was like, holy shit. I saw a firefighter. I was like, bro, like, this man just pushed me. And he's like, bro, deal with the cops. Now, I'm a firefighter. Like, I don't care.
He said, that's not my fucking job.
Yeah. And so, like, I get out of the car and, like, there was nothing. Didn't even bother a fucking speck of dirt on the bumper. Like,
On your car?
yeah. I was like, huh. Okay. And then I look at the 18-wheeler, nothing. And the guy gets out, and it's like a Mexican dude. And he's like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. Like, oh, my, are you okay? Like, blah, blah, blah. And I saw him. He was shaking. This man shaking bad. And I was like, bro, you're good. I was like, you're good. Just let it go. You're good. You're good. Don't worry about it. Man, I never seen somebody back-to-back cigarettes just one puff, two puffs, the cigarette is gone.
Boy.
Smoked a pack right in front of my face.
So did you call the cops or like what happened?
Nah, I was just like, I don't see anything. I'm like, you're good. Don't worry about it, bro.
Even though he just fucking terrorized you, you were just parking.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
you were just parked.
He did, but I saw how like shook up he was.
Hell no, I would have sued. Nope. Mm-mm.
That's what everybody says. I was like, nah, because I feel like karma's like real.
See, I would have sued the truck that hit me, but technically it was my fault. I was just like, what the fuck?
Ooh, I ran a red light the other day, and I was like, fuck! I didn't even realize it.
What do you mean? Like,
I was on 6th, and I was coming west, and then this guy was walking in the middle of the street. I was like, why is he walking in the middle of the street? And I drove right in front of him.
mm-hmm. It was a red light.
And I looked up, and I was like, oh, that's why.
It's because over here you never know. People just be walking across the street whenever the fuck they want.
That's what I'm saying. I was like his little goofy ass, whoom, just jumped past him.
Literally, like I was coming down here today, and they are just fucking. My light's green, and they're just fucking walking across the street. I'm like, bro, someday someone's really gonna get pissed. Anything else you wanna say before we get off of here?
Let me say, I can switch the camera angle. Damn. If
2 hours later.
go out there and do it, follow your brain and your heart, trust your gut. It does get really, really scary, but I guess that's when it's fun. And everybody has a lucky break, so I don't know, shit just happens.
Eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
You just gotta stick around long enough to get it.
Exactly.
It's really what it's about. You wanna plug your socials or anything you wanna plug in?
Yeah, so my OnlyFans is...
Hey, you gotta get that coin.
I mean, I produce podcasts, so what's stopping me from... my social medias are my name, at EverJCalderon. It might change. Who knows? I hope not. But those are...
Your name's gonna change?
In 2018, 2019, it was different. It was everj.c. But now it's my whole name.
Okay. He said he goes by the full name on the socials.
Yeah, you gotta... That's how... So if you ever get confused on how to write my checks, you can just look at that.
It's a constant reminder.
You gotta let them know.
That's how you gotta do it. Well, thank you so much for the Ever exclusive on UnHINGEDASF.
Thank you.
Make sure you follow Ever if you stayed this long. Subscribe to this channel. Give us a thumbs up, a comment, and tell Ever what you liked about him. He needs some compliments, guys. Look at that hair, though. Like, the curls are curling. All right, guys. See you some other time. Bye.